You were 7 years old when your mother said, "If you loved me, you'd clean your room." Love became a transaction. At 12, your best friend lied to your face. You laughed it off, but your ribs cracked a little. By 16, you learned to mold yourself into what others wanted. Every yes chipped off a piece of your spine. You thought kindness meant surrender. You thought love meant sacrifice. But sacrifice without consent is theft. Your voice became a ghost haunting your own throat. Why? Because manipulation thrives in the silence of good intentions. It plants roots in the soil of, maybe they'll change. You watered those roots with apologies you didn't owe. Now you're here, exhausted, suspicious, hollow. Let me ask you, when did you first mistake control for care? When did no become a grenade you refused to throw? Here's the trap. You keep feeding wolves, hoping they'll turn into lambs. Here's the trap. You keep feeding wolves, hoping they'll turn into lambs. Your boss guilt trips you into overtime. Your partner sulks until you fold. You justify it. They're stressed. They need me. But what if needing you is their weapon? Chaos is an addiction. Theirs and yours. You crave the high of fixing, solving, saving. But every rescue mission leaves you stranded. You've confused loyalty with captivity. Jung called it the shadow, the part of you that's allergic to power. You fear being called selfish, so you amputate your boundaries. But a boundary is not a wall. It's a door. You decide who gets a key. Yet here you are, handing out copies to anyone who knocks. Why? Because you'd rather bleed than be called cold. Because your heart still believes it's 7 years old. Let's start here. Stop justifying the poison in someone else's cup. Their thirst is not your responsibility. When they say, "You're too sensitive," say, "I'm too aware." Start affirming your ribs. They're not sticks to be broken for kindling. Your body is not a bargaining table. Choose your peace over their potential. Potential is a fairy tale told by people who profit from your labor. Machiavelli didn't say, "Be cruel." He said, "See cruelty clearly." So look, that friend who only calls when they need something, that family member who weaponizes guilt, they're not evil. They're unhealed. But their healing is not your harvest. Your power lies in what you permit. Say it with me. I permit respect. I permit honesty. I permit leaving rooms that shrink my name. Write this down. I choose my peace over fear. Carry it like a blade. Sharpen it daily. And if you're ready to stop negotiating your worth, stay here. Keep listening. The war ends when you pick a side, and the side is you. You were taught to shrink so others could expand, to call their hunger love and your hunger greed. But a star that refuses to burn collapses. You are not a black hole for their demands. Here's your first how-to. Stop keeping score. Manipulators tally debts like accountants. After all I've done for you, cut the ledger in half. You owe nothing for care that came with strings. Second step, name the game. When they say, "You're the only one who understands," say, "That's not a compliment, it's a cage." Watch how quickly their mask slips. Third, let the silence breathe. When they push, pause. Say, "I'll think about it," and walk away. Time is your ally. Urgency is their weapon. Your spine isn't missing. It's just buried under old yeses. Dig it out. Forgive the child who thought survival meant compliance. That child still lives in your nervous system. Hold their hand, but stop letting them drive. Integration isn't kindness. It's strategy. Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." So act. Delete the text. Cancel the plan. Return the guilt they FedEx to your doorstep. You think they'll rage? Maybe. But a manipulator's anger is a tantrum, not a tsunami. Stand still. Let it crash around you, not through you. You've mistaken their noise for power. Real power is quiet. It's the unshakable knowing that you are not a puppet. You are the hand holding the strings. So what if they call you selfish? Selfish is the label they slap on your freedom. Let it stick. Wear it like a medal. You've donated enough organs to their drama. Keep your liver, keep your lungs. You'll need them to breathe fire again. Write this down. I am not a savior, I am a soul. Say it until your reflection believes it. If they ask, why are you changing? Smile and say, why are you still the same? Healing isn't pretty. It's sweat and splinters and screaming into pillows. But it's yours. No one gets to monetize your metamorphosis. You want to never be manipulated again? Start here. Never manipulate yourself first. Stop gaslighting your gut. Trust the itch between your shoulders. It's your ancestors whispering, enough. Say it now. I choose my peace over fear. Let it vibrate in your teeth. Let it rewild your heart. If you're ready to stand in your truth, to turn their games to dust, keep going. Hit follow. Let this be the first no that blooms into 1,000 yeses. The war is over. You've already won. Every sorry you swallow for existing becomes a brick in their castle. Tear it down. You are not a tenant in someone else's ego. Here's how to spot the wolves. They flatter your patience. They call your silence strength and your anger irrational. Reverse the script. When they say you're overreacting, say, no, I'm reacting. Finally. Watch their confusion. That's the sound of your power waking up. Your boss says, we're family here, but family doesn't clock unpaid hours. Your sister cries, you owe me, but debt requires consent. You signed no contract. Blow out the guilt they lit in your ribs. Let the smoke choke them for once. Jung said the shadow festers in the dark, so shine a light. What's your shadow whispering? I'm tired of being the bigger person. I want to take up space. Let it speak. Acknowledge it. That's not cruelty, it's clarity. Manipulation dies in daylight, so air the secrets. No, I won't lend you money again. No, I don't like how you speak to me. Each no is a brick rebuilding your spine. Your body isn't a puppet, it's a protest. Feel your feet on the ground. That's the earth saying, I've got you. Now, practice the pause. When they demand an answer, say, I need time. Time is truth's best friend. Lies crumble under patience. Remember the coworker who stole your idea? The parent who compared you to a ghost? They're scavengers, not giants. Scavengers starve when you stop feeding them scraps. Write this down. I am not responsible for their emptiness. Say it until your hands stop shaking. Here's a truth they'll never teach you. Nice people built prisons. Kindness without boundaries is a welcome mat for vultures. So build a fence. Let it be tall. Let it be iron. Let them rattlesnake against it until they tire. You think you'll be lonely? At first, yes. But loneliness is just the echo of old lies leaving. Soon, you'll hear your own voice again. It sounds like home. Stop confusing their potential with your purpose. You are not a rehab center for broken people. Your love can't cure their childhood. Let that weight drop. Feel your shoulders rise. That's the posture of freedom. Next time they guilt trip you, laugh. Not at them, at the absurdity. Laughter disarms drama. Try it. If you really loved me, laughs. Nice try. Watch their script unravel. They'll call you heartless. Good. Hearts weren't meant to be handled by everyone. Reclaim your chambers. Let only the worthy pulse there. Write this down. I am not a crisis hotline. Repeat it when they come bleeding for band-aids you didn't create. You want a mantra? I am safe when I choose myself. Say it in the mirror. Say it in the grocery line. Say it until your cells believe it. They'll accuse you of betrayal. Nod. Say, betrayal of your expectations? Yes. Expectations are their religion. You're not a disciple. Forgive yourself for the years you knelt at their altar. You didn't know. Now you do. So rise. The world will try to shrink you. Don't let it. Your voice is a weapon. Load it with truth. Your silence is a shield. Use it wisely. Your no is a nation. Defend its borders. Machiavelli was right. It's better to be feared than loved if loving costs you your soul. Fear their respect, not their anger. Let them fear the steel in your softness. Now go. Delete the number. Skip the reunion. Ghost the guilt. You've mourned enough fake deaths. Bury the martyr. Resurrect the warrior. Write the vow. I choose my peace over fear. Tattoo it on your pulse. If you're ready to stop bargaining with ghosts. To feel whole, not hollow. Stay here. Follow this path. The door is open. Walk through. You've mistaken their chaos for your calling. It's not. Your calling is the quiet hum beneath the noise. The one that says, you were built for more than this. Here's how to kill a manipulator's script. Stop rehearsing it. They hand you lines. Throw them back. You're so selfish. Thank you. Self-care is a revolution. Watch their words lose gravity. You're not orbiting their drama anymore. Let them float into space. Second step, name their tactics aloud. That's guilt tripping. That's love bombing. That's deflection. Sunlight sterilizes infection. Third, rewrite your origin story. You're not the victim. You're the survivor. The child who folded herself into paper airplanes to please, unfold her. Let her soar. Machiavelli said, it's better to act and repent than not act and regret. So act. Block the number. Ignore the bait. Let regret be their heirloom, not yours. They'll say you've changed. Say, good, so did the seasons. Winter doesn't apologize for freezing what wasn't rooted. Neither should you. Your shadow isn't your enemy. It's your exiled truth. Let it speak. I'm angry. I'm done. I matter. Integration isn't a hug. It's a handshake with your fiercest self. Now stand in the mirror. Say, I am not a wound to be managed. Say, I am a war ended. Write this down. I am not an apology. Burn the old letters where you begged for crumbs. Ashes fertilize new soil. Plant seeds that don't need permission to grow. Your father said, blood is everything. But poison is poison, even in a family tree. Prune it. Let the rot fall. You'll breathe easier. Your coworker who takes credit? Forward the email. CC the boss. Watch their face pale. That's not petty. It's justice. Justice is a muscle. Use it or lose it. From now on, let every yes be a hell yes. Let every no be a hell no. No more lukewarm surrenders. Your intuition isn't a suggestion. It's a law. Obey it. When they say, who do you think you are? Say, finally, someone who knows. Write this down. I am not a rumor they get to narrate. Your story is yours. Edit out the liars. Let the climax be your liberation. They'll try to rewrite you. Don't let them. You're not a side character in their tragedy. You're the hero of your epic. Act like it. Stop wearing softness as a uniform. Sometimes kindness is a knife. Cut the strings. Your therapist calls it boundaries. Machiavelli calls it strategy. Call it survival. You've been baptized in their chaos too long. Rise from that water. Wring out their lies. Hang your truth in the sun. Let it dry stiff as armor. Now walk. Into the job interview. Into the first date. Into the family reunion. Your armor clinks with every step. Let it announce you. Let it terrify them. You think love can't coexist with power? Watch you love yourself and hold the line. Watch you be gentle and unyielding. Contradiction is their weakness, your superpower. Say it until the walls shake. I choose my peace over fear. Let it echo in your empty rooms. Let it crack their mirrors. If you're ready to stop flinching at your own reflection, to stop trading your soul for scraps of approval, hit follow, hit save. Let this be your flag in the dirt. The ground you reclaim is yours. The battle was never with them. It was with the ghost of who they told you to be. Bury that ghost. Salt the earth where it lies. Now, turn. Walk away. Don't look back. The future is a country where you are free. Pack light. Take only your truth. Leave their baggage at the border. You're already home. Their words were hooks. You've spent years peeling them from your skin. Now look, you're smooth, unburdened. Here's your final how-to. Stop explaining. No is a complete sentence. Because I said so is your birthright. You don't owe them a map to your boundaries. Let them get lost. Second, reclaim your time. Seconds spent soothing their tantrums are seconds stolen from your joy. Third, study their silence. When you stop dancing, their music means nothing. Let the quiet terrify them. Your absence is an earthquake in their dollhouse. Let it crumble. That friend who jokes about your flaws? Say, name one thing you love about me, right now. Watch them stammer. That's not awkwardness. It's their mask cracking. Manipulators hate mirrors. Become one. Reflect their tactics without blinking. You're gaslighting me. That's projection. Try again. They'll retreat. Predators hunt easy prey. You're no longer easy. Forgive yourself for the times you traded dignity for peace. You were surviving. Now you're alive. Write this down. I am not a lesson they get to learn. Repeat it when they crawl back, eyes wet with fake remorse. Tears are just water. You're not a desert anymore. Let them evaporate. Your therapist asks, what does your inner child need? Tell her, a fucking megaphone. Give it to them. Let that child scream, I'm not scared of you anymore. Watch the manipulators flinch. That's the sound of their power dying. Stop calling it selfishness. Call it sovereignty. Your heart is a nation. Raise the flag. Guard the gates. Let no one enter without a visa of respect. Machiavelli whispered, the lion cannot protect himself from traps. But you're not a lion. You're the hunter who sees the trap and walks around it. Now you see. Now you walk. Write this down. I choose my peace over fear. Fold it into your wallet. Tuck it under your tongue. Let it be the last words you taste each night. The path is simple, not easy. Choose yourself. Choose yourself again. And when you falter, choose yourself louder. They'll call it a phase. Let your persistence be the punchline. You're not a phase, you're an era. Your ancestors are clapping. The ones who bent but didn't break. The ones who hid their fire. You're their answered prayer. Now burn bright, burn borders, burn every script that tried to shrink you. The end of manipulation begins with 2 words. No more. Say them. Scream them. Let the echo be your anthem. The war is over. You wrote the terms. You know that moment in a horror movie when the power cuts out? Manipulation lives in that darkness. Click. Your doubt fuels their generator. Flip the switch. Your clarity is the light they can't unsee. How-to number 1, name their hunger. You're not hurt, you're hungry, and I'm not your meal. Watch their script catch fire. Think of the last time someone hijacked your guilt. Your chest, a boarded-up house, their hands prying open windows. Here's the fix. Nail the doors shut. Paint no loitering in red on your ribs. Let them read it. Your ex said, you'll never find better. They were right. You won't find better, you'll find real. Real doesn't bargain. Real doesn't flinch. Real is a gut punch to gaslighters. Jung warned, what you resist persists. So stop resisting their games. Starve them. A gambler can't win if you refuse to bet. Fold your hand. Walk from the table. Let their chips gather dust. You've worn their criticism like a crown of wasps. Feel the stings? Good. Pain is a compass. It points to what needs to die. Swat the hive. Crown yourself with steel instead. How-to number 2, practice the stone face. When they prod for your reaction, become a cliff. Let their words hit granite. No echo, no crack. They'll thrash, they'll scream, then they'll leave. Predators hate landscapes that don't bleed. Your sister says, you've changed, like it's a funeral. Say, it's a resurrection. Bring confetti. Mourn nothing but the lies you outgrew. Machiavelli wrote, "Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception. Reverse it. Win your soul back by force. Deception hates a frontal assault. Imagine your boundaries as a pack of wolves, teeth bared, eyes glowing. Let them circle your periphery. Let manipulators feel that primal knowing. Cross this line, and they'll bleed." How-to number 3, the 24-hour rule. When they demand an answer, say, "Ask me tomorrow." If they can't wait, their emergency isn't yours. If they can, their respect might be. Test passed. You've confused closure with swallowing their excuses. Closure is a myth sold by people who fear accountability. Write your own ending. I walked. They choked on my dust. The end. Your boss says, "We're a family." Remind them, even families have locks on their doors. Clock out. Let their guilt rot in the break room. Your shadow isn't under your bed. It's in your browser history. The tabs you open at 2 a.m. Am I too sensitive? Why do I attract narcissists? Close them. Type this instead. How to become ungovernable. Let the algorithm tremble. They'll say you're too much. Say, "Too much for you. The rest of me is for the world." Then vanish into your purpose. Let them gag on your dust. Final mantra. I am a cave lion, extinct to their traps. Let it rumble in your throat. Let it shake their cages loose. The war isn't won in battle. It's won in the refusal to fight their war. Disarm. Walk. Thrive in the tundra they call cold. Your peace is the ultimate rebellion. Write the vow. I choose my peace over fear. Sign it in the blood of old wounds. Let it be the flag they'll never lower. You were 9 when your teacher said, "Stop being so dramatic." So you swallowed your panic attacks like bad medicine. Now you're 29 and your throat's a graveyard of unspoken truths. Dig them up. Let them rot in the open air. How-to number 1. Stop mistaking pity for love. Pity is a cage disguised as a hug. Break the bars. Walk out naked. Their shock is their problem. That coworker who jokes about your mistakes? Say, "Explain why that's funny." Deadpan. Watch their smirk die. Bullies crumble under scrutiny. Your mother says, "After all I sacrificed." Say, "Sacrifice without consent is theft." Let the words hang. The guilt is hers to carry now. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are so simple, but you're not simple. You're a storm they tried to bottle. Shatter the glass." How-to number 2. Become a fact-checker. When they say, "You're too emotional," say, "Let's revisit the facts." List them cold. You yelled. I set a boundary. You called me cruel. Numbers don't lie. Your shadow isn't under your bed. It's in your browser history. The midnight searches. Am I the toxic one? Close the tab. Open a new one. How to survive being the villain in their story. Spoiler, you thrive. They'll say, "You've changed." Say, "Thank you. Evolution's a bitch, isn't it?" Let your grin be the period at the end of their sentence. How-to number 3. The 10-second rule. When they guilt trip, count to 10 in your head. By 7, they'll rush to fill the silence. By 10, you'll see their fear of losing control. Let them drown in it. Write this down. I am not their emergency exit. Tape it to your mirror. Let them combust on the other side of the door. Your father said, "Blood is thicker than water," but so is poison. Flush it. Drink from wells that don't burn your throat. They'll call you heartless. Let your heart be a fist of iron wrapped in velvet, soft enough to love, hard enough to break jaws. Final truth. Manipulators need you more than you need them. Their power is a mirror. Shatter it, and they're just a pile of glass. Walk barefoot. Let them bleed. I choose my peace over fear. Nudge. If your hands are steady now, hit follow. The unmanipulated don't walk alone.